Welcome to Bethel Online Education Hub. Learn anytime, anywhere. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Let's learn together, the Bethel way.
Good morning, learners. Welcome to a new day of knowledge and discovery. Today, we embark on a journey back in time to a world long before cities, governments, or writing ever existed. Imagine a time when humans had no permanent home, no farms, and no domesticated animals. Life was centered on survival. People live as nomads, constantly moving from place to place in search of food, shelter, and safety. Every day has a struggle to hunt animals and gather what nature provided. But around 9,000 years ago, something changed forever. In this lesson, we'll explore how this revolution transformed human life from survival to society, from wild to organized, and why it remains one of the most important events in our history. The Neolithic Revolution, also known as Agricultural Revolution, was the transition from nomadic life to agriculture and domestication of animals, which began around 9000 BCE in parts of Southwest Asia, like modern-day Iraq and Turkey, and later in other parts of the world. Key pictures of Neolithic Revolution. Farming began. People started planting crops like wheat and barley. Animal domestication. Human tamed animals such as sheep, goats, cattle for food and works. Sedentary life. Instead of moving around, people built permanent homes and villages. Population growth. With a stable food supply, communities expanded. New tools and technology. Stone tools improved. Pottery and weaving also developed. Social changes. People began to divide labor and develop leadership or social roles. The Neolithic Revolution laid the foundation for the development of social roles by shifting human life from simple survival to organized society. With the rise of civilization, people began to live in with the with governments, which required leaders, lawmakers, and administrators. The growth of trade, writing system, and organized religion create special roles such as merchant, scribes, artisan, and priests. In- Instead of everyone hunting or gathering, individuals now took on different tasks and responsibilities within their communities. This division of labor marked the beginning of social stratification, where people's roles and status in society were defined by their work, skills, or authority. As a result, the Neolithic Revolution was a crucial step toward modern society, permanently changing how human lives, work, and interact with one another. The Neolithic Revolution was driven by a combination of environmental and social factors that made a shifting to agriculture both possible and necessary. Around 10,000 BCE, the last ice age ended, leading to a warmer and more stable climate. As a glacier melt, fertile lands were exposed, creating ideal conditions for plant growth and encouraging people to remain in one area for longer periods. With longer growing seasons and increased sunlight and rainfall, early humans began experimenting with planting seeds and wild crops like wheat and barley become easier to cultivate. In regions like Fertile Crescent, there was an abundance of wild plants and animals that could be domesticated for food, labor, and materials. This led to more reliable food sources than hunting and gathering, increasing food security and allowing population to grow. As a result, people began to form permanent settlements, building homes, villages, instead of constantly moving. These changes marked the beginning of a settled way of life and set the stage for the rise of civilization. In summary, the Neolithic Revolution was caused by climate change, abundant resources, and agricultural innovation, all of which transformed human society forever. The birthplace of agriculture and irrigation can be traced to a region in the Middle East known as the Fertile Crescent, a high rich crescent-shaped area that extends from modern-day Iraq through Syria, Lebanon, and Israel, all the way to Egypt. This region offers several natural advantages that made it ideal for early farming. It had fertile soil enriched by major rivers such as the Tigris, Euphrates, and Nile, a mild and stable climate, and an abundance of wild grains and animals that could be domesticated. These favorable conditions allowed early humans to shift from a nomadic lifestyle to more settled and agricultural one. As a result, the Fertile Crescent became the cradle of agriculture, irrigation, and first complex civilizations. Agriculture is believed to have started around 9,000 years ago in Jarmo, an archaeological site located in Zagros Mountain of northeastern Iraq. At Jarmo, archaeologists discovered evidence of domesticated plants like wheat and barley. They also discovered domesticated animals such as goat and stone tools, pottery, and permanent homes. This makes Jarmo one of the earliest known example of farming community, showing how humans began to shift from hunting and gathering to settled agriculture life. Throughout history, nomadic peoples, those who moved from place to place, and sedentary agricultural peoples, those who live in permanent farming village, interact in a various ways, sometimes peaceful and sometimes violently. During the Neolithic period and beyond, nomadic and sedentary agricultural peoples developed distinct ways of life that often brought them into contact, both peacefully and violently. Nomadic peoples practice pastoralism, raising herbs of animals such as goats, cattle, or camels. And some use slash and burn agriculture to clear forest, forested land for temporary farming before moving on. In contrast, sedentary agricultural communities settled in one place, cultivate crops, and build permanent homes. Their stable food supply enabled population growth and the development of villages, towns, and eventually cities. These two groups interacted in various ways. In peaceful interaction, nomads and farmers engage in trade, exchanging meat, animals, products, and livestock for grains, tools, or cloth. They also participated in cultural exchanges, sharing technologies, tools, and ideas. However, interactions were not always peaceful. Violent encounters include raids, where nomads attack farming villages for food or valuables, and territorial conflict over land, water, and pastures. This relationship had a lasting history impact. Empires rose and fled due to nomad farmer dynamics, and great conquerors like the Mongols emerged from nomadic roots in some regions. Nomadic and settled people eventually merged, blending their culture and contribution to the evolution of early societies. The interaction between nomads and farmers shaped early human history through a combination of cooperation and conflict, a recurring pattern to see throughout the ancient world. As agriculture became more reliable, people no longer needed to roam in search of food, leading to the development of first permanent settlements. This shift marked the beginning of organized communities and gave rise to some of the world's earliest towns. One notable example is Katal Huyuk, located in present-day Turkey and dating back around 7000 BCE. It was a large, well-organized farming village, notable for its unique layout, with homes built closely together and no streets. People moved across rooftops to travel. The inhabitants farmed wheat, barley, and peas and raised domesticated animals, such as sheep and cattle. Catalhoyuk also showed early signs of spiritual beliefs, with artifacts suggesting the worship of mother gods associated with fertility and nature. Living in permanent mud brick houses allowed family to accumulate possession and develop new technologies like pottery for food storage and looms for weaving cloth. The rise of towns like Katulhuyuk represent a major milestone in human history, demonstrating how the agricultural revolution laid the groundwork for more complex societies, the birth of cities, and the emergence of civilization. Jericho is recognized as one of the oldest known permanent settlements in human history, located near the Jordan River in the modern-day West Bank. Jericho dates back to around 9000 BCE or before Common Era, making it even older than Catalhoyuk, situated near a natural spring in a fertile crescent. The settlement had access to a steady water source, essential for early agriculture and daily life. Its residents farmed wheat and barley, domesticated animals, and lived in mud brick homes with flat roofs and storage area for surplus food. What set Jericho apart? It is massive stone walls, among the first defensive structure ever built, indicating a need for protection, possibly for floods or hostiles group. Archaeological evidence also suggests that Jericho engaged in trade and was developing a distinct culture. As one of the earliest examples of walled and organized town, Jericho reflects the transformative power of agriculture and settlement, representing the key step in humanity journey towards civilization. As early humans improved their farming techniques, they began producing more food than was needed for immediate survival. This extra food, known as agricultural surplus, sparked profound changes in society. Enhanced tools, knowledge, and the invention of irrigation allowed crops to thrive even in dry regions, leading to consistent food production. With a reliable surplus, communities no longer had to move in search of food, enabling the growth of permanent settlements. Surplus food also support population growth, improved health, and gave rise to occupational specialization. Since not everyone need to farm, individuals began focusing on their other roles, such as metalworking, pottery, trading, leadership, and religious duties. This diversification of labor create more complex economies and societies, with towns becoming hub of trade and culture. Over time, social stratification emerged as specialized roles led to differences in status and power, forming distinct social classes such as leaders, skilled workers, and laborers. Additionally, advances in farming technology, including plows and improved seed selection, increase productivity, further fueling trade and population growth. Agricultural surplus laid the groundwork of civilization, transforming small farming villages into organized hierarchical society. From small farming villages to mighty cities, early human societies grew more complex as people began to live together in larger, organized communities. But how did we go from scratch settlements to powerful kingdoms and empires? This transformation began with the rise of early civilization, advanced cities with organized government, cities, religion, and system of writing. As this civilization grew, they need they needed order, leadership, and structure to manage their people, resources, and land. This led to the creation of state, a formal political system with rulers, laws, and institutions. Over 5,000 years ago, a groundbreaking invention appeared in Mesopotamia, which is writing. This moment is so important that it marks the end of prehistory and the beginning of recorded history. Before writings, humans could only pass knowledge through oral traditions, cave paintings, and artifacts. But as village grew into towns, societies need a more reliable way to store and manage information. The earliest known form of writing was cuneiform, developed by the Sumerian of Mesopotamia. At first, it involves drawing symbols on clay tablets to represent goods and numbers. The invention of writing allowed civilization to preserve knowledge, create laws, organize complex societies, and pass ideas across generations, shaping the course of human history forever. Here are the four early river valley civilizations. Early civilizations developed around rivers because rivers provided fresh water, fertile soils, and a mean of transport and trade. This river became the lifeline of the world's first great civilization. The first is Mesopotamian civilization, located between the Tigris and the Euphrates River, which is the modern-day Iraq. Mesopotamian civilization, also known as the cradle of civilization. Homes and cities like Ur, Babylon, and Sumer. Invented the cuneiform, one of the first writing system. The second civilization, which is the Egyptian civilization, located along the Nile River in southeastern Africa. The Nile's floods made the soil rich for farming. Egyptian civilization built pyramids, temples, and had powerful pharaohs, and developed hieroglyphics, hieroglyphics, a system of picture writing. The third is the Indian civilization, located along the Indus River in present-day Pakistan and northwest India. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro had advanced urban planning including drainage system. Still a mystery in many ways, the writing system has not yet been fully decoded. The last civilization is the ancient Chinese civilization, located along the Huanghe, the Yellow River, in northern China, known as China's Sorrow due to deadly floods. Early dynasties like the Qing and Shang developed here. The Sumerian were one of the world's first civilization emerging around 3500 BCE in Mesopotamia, a region located between the Tigris and Euphrates River in, in what is now modern-day Iraq. Mesopotamia means land between two rivers. although the region was hot and dry. Sumerians built irrigation canals to bring water from the rivers to their fields. This canal made agriculture possible, allowing crops like wheat and barley to grow in the desert. Sumerian developed cuneiform, one of the earliest known writing systems. It involved pressing wedge-shaped sign into soft clay tablets using a reed stylus. Writing was used for keeping records such as taxes, trades, laws, and religious texts. They laid the foundation of urban civilization with organized cities, government, and religion. Their innovation in writing, irrigation, and city building influenced many later civilizations in the ancient world. The ziggurat, the city's religious center. At the end, at the center of each city stood a ziggurat, a massive tarred pyramid-shaped temple made of mud bricks. Ziggurats were dedicated to the city's patron god and served as a spiritual and political heart of the city. Priests performed rituals at the ziggurat to keep the gods happy and ensure the city's safety and prosperity. The independent nature of Mesopotamian city-state helped develop early forms of government, laws, religion, and urban planning, which influenced many later civilizations. Next is the Mesopotamian religion. Religion played a central role in the daily life of people in Mesopotamia. They believed that gods control all aspects of nature and human life. Polytheism. Mesopotamians believed in many gods, each responsible for different parts of life, such as the sun, the rain, war, fertility, and the harvest. Gods were powerful and human-like. The gods were thought to be powerful, but also had human emotion, like anger, jealousy, and love. People believed that keeping the gods happy would bring blessing, while angering them could bring disaster. The the temple called ziggurats were built in each city state to honor the patron god of the city. Priests perform rituals and sacrifice here. So let's proceed with the Mesopotamian warriors, gods, and symbols. Archaeologists had discovered gold figurines of warrior gods dating back 2400 to 2500 BCE, showing the importance of military strength and divine protection. Marduk, one of the most important gods, especially in Babylon, known as the dragon god. He was the god of creation, justice, and magic. Marduk eventually became the chief god of Babylonian pantheon. Mesopotamian religion shaped their government, architecture, art, and daily life. They believe also influenced later civilization in the ancient world. Mesopotamian society. Three main social classes. Mesopotamian society was highly structured with people grouped into different social classes based on their role, wealth, and power. The upper class included priests, king, and high-ranking officials. Priests played a powerful role in society as they were believed to communicate with gods. Kings ruled city-state and were often seen as chosen by the gods. The middle class included scribes, government officials, craftsmen, merchants, and peasants. Scribes were highly respected because they could read and write. They kept records of laws, trades, and events. Merchant and artisan made and trade goods like pottery, textiles, and tools. The peasant worked the land and produced food. The third class is the lower class. Slaves were at the bottom of society and were not free citizens. They were often prisoners of war or people in debt, work in homes, temples, or on farms. Women in Mesopotamia, women have more rights than in many later Asian civilizations. They could own property, they could run business. However, they are not allowed to attend schools, meaning most women could not read or write. Mesopotamian society was a complex hierarchy with clear roles. Power and privilege were concentrated at the top, but each class contributed to the functioning of early civilization. The rise of monarchs and dynasties in Mesopotamia. In early Mesopotamian society, priests held great power, political power, where they believed to communicate with gods and controlled religious rituals, land, and resources. However, as city-states began facing conflict and invasions, a shift in power occurred from priests to kings. During time of war, military commanders took control to defend the city-states. Over time, some of these commanders kept power even after the wars ended. These military rulers became monarchs, kings who ruled with authority over people. The birth of the dynasties. As monarchs passed power to their sons or relatives, a new political structure emerged, the dynasties. A dynasty is a series of rulers from the same family line, passing down power hereditarily. Dynasties help create more stable leadership through power struggles and succession. Disputes were common. The shift from priest-led rule to dynastic monarchies marked a major change in government. It laid the foundation for organized political system and centralized authority that influenced future civilization across the ancient world. The Akkadian Empire. The Akkadian Empire was first empire in the world history, founded by Sargon of Akkad around 2350 BCE in Mesopotamia. It united the various Sumerian city states under one central ruler. Spread across Mesopotamia from the Persian Gulf of the Mediterranean Sea. Sargon the Great, a brilliant military leader and administrator. The Akkadian Empire helped spread Sumerian culture, language, and writing. The empire lasted about 200 years from 2350 BCE to 2150 BCE. The empire eventually fell down due to the internal conflicts, rebellions, and invasion by neighboring people. The Akkadian Empire set the model for future empire with its system of centralized government, military, conquest, and cultural unification, influencing the civilization for centuries to come. Around 2000 before Common Era, the Babylonians overtook the Sumerian and rose to power in Mesopotamia. They built their capital city, the Babylon, along the Euphrates River, a city that would become one of the most famous in ancient history. Hammurabi was the most well-known ruler of the Babylonian Empire. He is remembered for creating one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes in history. Hammurabi grabbed and unified all the existing laws from the various city-states in one code. This code helped to unify the region by creating a standard set of laws for everyone to follow. It includes 282 laws carved into stones and placed in public place for all to see. Famous principles of the Hammurabi Code is eye of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The idea that punishment should fit the crime. The laws covered trade, family, property, wages, punishment, and justice. Although the law were not always equal, they showed the importance of law and order society. Hammurabi's code was one of the first examples of written law, setting the foundation of legal system in later civilization. It showed the rulers had the responsible to protect the weak and enforce justice. Life along the Nile River. The ancient Egypts built one of the most greatest civilization along the banks of Nile River. They chose to live near the Nile because its water brought life to the desert. Every year, the Nile floods its banks, covering the land with water and rich black mud. When the flood waters recede, they left behind fertile soil, perfect for farming. This yearly cycle allowed the Egyptian to grow crops, raise animals, and build stable society in the heart of the desert. The Nile was more than just a river. It was a lifeline of ancient Egypt, shaping its economy, culture, religion, and daily life. In ancient Egypt, the king was called Pharaoh. He was not just a political leader. The Pharaoh was seen as a god on earth. Powers and roles of a Pharaoh. The Pharaoh made the rules and ensured justice was carried out. The Pharaoh ruled the land. He was the supreme ruler of all Egypt and owned most of the land. controlled trade. He managed Egypt's economy, including trade with other lands, led the army. In times of war, the pharaoh acted as a commander-in-chief, religious leader. Egyptians believed that Pharaoh was a living god, chosen by the god to lead and protect the people. The Pharaoh's power united Egypt and helped maintain order, prosperity, and religious harmony. His leadership was essential in building pyramids, temples, and strong government system that lasted for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptian society was highly structured, like a pyramid, with different social classes based on wealth, power, and job roles. Each class had its responsibilities, and most people were born into their position. Parao at the top of the society, seen as God, king, with absolute power over law, land, trade, and religion. Next is government officials, nobles, and priests. He helped the pharaoh rule. Priests performed religious rituals and cared for the temples. Nobles owned land and collect taxes. The third is scribes, highly respected for being able to read and write. Recorded laws, taxes, trade, and historical events. The craftsmen and artisan. Skilled workers like builders, sculptors, painters, and jewelers create gods for temples, tombs, and wealthy Egyptians. The farmers and laborers, the larger class, grew crops and worked on buildings, projects like pyramid and temples. Slaves and servants, at the bottom of the society, often prisoners of war, work in household, temples, and farms. Women in ancient Egypt. Women have more rights than in all many other ancient cultures. They should own property, divorce, and run businesses. Some women even become doctor, scribe, scribes, or pharaoh. However, most could not attend school and did not hold government position. Ancient Egyptians' social society was well organized and deeply connected to religion and the authority of the pharaoh. Each class played an important role in maintaining the kingdom's order, economy, and culture. The ancient Egyptians were deeply religious people whose belief shaped really every part of their lives, from how they lived to how they buried their dead. Egyptians were polytheistic, meaning they believed in any gods and goddess. Each god had a specific role, such as Ra, the god of sun, Oris, god of the afterlife, Isis, god of healing and magic, Anubis, god of mummification. Egyptians believed that life continued after death. To enjoy the afterlife, the body had to preserve. This led to the process of mummification. The body was dried and wrapped to stop it from decaying. It was placed in sarcophagus, a decorated stone coffin. Wealthy Egyptians were buried with food, jewelry, clothes, furniture, and statues of servant. At all things they believed were needed in the next life. The most impressive tomb were the pyramids, built as grand burial sites for the pharaoh. This massive structure reflects the Egyptians' belief in eternity and the divine nature of their ruler. Ancient Egyptian religion influenced their art, architecture, government, and daily life. Th- Their focus on the afterlife led to some of the most monuments in the world, including the Great Pyramid of Giza. Ancient Egyptian art. Art in ancient Egypt was not just for decoration. It had religious, cultural, and political purpose. It reflected their beliefs, honored their gods, and celebrating their rulers. Statues made to honor pharaohs, gods, and important officials usually show figure in stiff, formal pose with calm and idealized expression, often placed in temple and tombs to serve the god or the dead in the afterlife. Temples were not just places of worship, they were also work of arts. Decorate with statues, columns, carvings, and paintings. Built to honor gods like Amun-Ra, Isis, and Horus. The walls and ceilings were covered with colorful hieroglyphics and symbolic art. Paintings found on wall of tombs and temples showed scenes from everyday life, religious rituals, and afterlife. Figures were painted in profile, with heads and legs facing sideways, and eyes shoulder facing forward. A unique and symbolic style. Use bright, lasting natural color. Egyptian art was a way to communicate belief, honor the gods, and immortalize rulers. Its distinct style and symbolic meaning still fascinate people around the world today. After the Neolithic Revolution, human society transformed from small farming villages into complex civilization. As an agricultural practices improved, food surplus allowed population to grow. People began to settle in permanent communities, leading to the development of towns and eventually cities. With growing population came new challenges, managing land, resources, trade, and deputies. This needed for order to lead the formation of organized government or states. A state is a centralized political system with the power to enforce law, collect taxes, and defend the community. Early civilization developed along fertile rivers valley, such as Tigris, Euphrates, Mesopotamia, the Nile River in Egypt, the Indus Valley in India, and the Yellow River of China. These regions provide water for farming, transportation, and trade. Key pictures of early civilization. Urban centers, organized government and leadership, social classes, and specialization of labors, writing system like cuneiform and hieroglyphics, monumental architecture like pyramid and ziggurats, the temple, religious institutions and belief system, trade networks, and economic system. The rise of states marked the beginning of formal political authority and social organization. It laid the foundation for the development of empires, law, codes, and complex societies we still study today. As we close today's lesson, remember that the story of early civilization is not just about farming or building towns. It's about how humans learn to live together, organize societies, and build the foundation of the modern world. From the first planted seeds to the rise of cities and governments. Each step was the leap toward the complex, interconnected world we live in today. Understanding this journey help us appreciate how far humanity has come and shared history that unite us all.